I am exhausted this morning. It's 6:45, and I have a doctor's appointment at 8:30. So I am unfortunately up and Adam still haven't gotten dressed. Still on moo. But that's okay because I want to do a little like readathon kind of thing, like 24-hour readathon. Um, and I think I'm going to try to do the 24-hour. No, I'm not going to do the 24 hours straight. I am going to do where I read for 24 hours. Whether that takes me 2 days, that's fine. I do want to get it done within 2 days. Okay. So let's discuss the books that I have um, to read. So this is my July TBR. It's very small because I have a um, like TBR wheel that I want to get to. I want to try out, and can't do that when I have obligations. And I felt I want to do more challenges this month because I am truly not working. It is just, it's officially summer for me. So I want to do that. So let's discuss the books that I have. So for one, we have Crescent City. Crescent City is a chunker, but I'm already like 3/4 of the way through. I've been listening to it on audio the past week. But I am driving to my appointment. So, I don't know if this is exactly where I am. This is from what I started off the chapter. It's giving me reminders of what I read yesterday. So hopefully we can finish Crescent City. And then, this is in no particular order. This is just the order that I have it on the shelf. We have Persuasion by Jane Austen. This is her final finished novel, and it tells the story of Anne Elliot and Navy Captain Frederick Wentworth, who are betrothed and in love but parted. Their paths cross again after several years. They have regret and bitterness amongst themselves. Will they find their way back to each other? Will there be a second chance at love? Okay, second chance romance. Um, I wanted another short Jane Austen book. I think I have 2 books left of hers after this, and then I am completed with her um, collection of works. Okay, then we have Give Me a Sign by Anna Sortino. Um, this is a deaf or hard of hearing kind of representation. Follows Lila and Isaac. She is not deaf or not deaf enough, so she's hard of hearing. But she is going to be a counselor at a deaf camp, so she's trying to brush up on her ASL. She meets with Isaac, who is one of the counselors there, and they maybe find romance in each other. Coming of age story, revelatory exploration of deaf culture, its vastness, and its beautiful complexities. This is giving summer vibes. Again, it's like a camp, so summer camp. It looks really cute, and I've been wanting to read it. It's on my 25 to read 25, so I'd be knocking that out, which is key. So Give Me a Sign by Anna Sortino. And then, of course, we have book 6 of the Harry Potter series, which is The Half-Blood Prince. Still going strong with that war against Voldemort. I watched the movie like immediately after watching the movie for book 5, and I'm not prepared for this book. So it'll be interesting. I'm gonna find this one on audio as well. But 4 books. I want to at least get started on all 4 of them. I think that for sure I'm gonna be finishing Crescent City. If I don't, I'll be upset. I want to fully read Give Me a Sign. I want to try to get into Persuasion. Language is always going to be an issue with me when it comes to Jane Austen. Um, just because, they use different words, it's a different region, different time period, all that jazz. And then, of course, Harry Potter, that'll be the last one that I get to. Hopefully I like this so much that I can just jump straight into the next book. I have the first 2 books. I haven't gotten the last one. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited. But I am going to finish getting ready for work. Not for work. I'm not working right now. For my doctor's appointment. I think I'll leave here in about 20 minutes. But I have a little timer, and I am going to be timing the times that I do read, how long it takes me to read certain things, like how long is it going to take me to finish Crescent City, how long is it going to take me to finish Give Me a Sign. There's a whole lot of different factors. So I think we are going to start with Crescent City after I get dressed, and I am excited. So I will see y'all when I have some thoughts on one of these books. All right, bye. Okay, good morning. So I am on my way to the doctor's appointment, and we are going to be starting with Crescent City because I already have the audio for it. Also, can we just remember this cute bag that I got at the Onyx Storm release? Ugh, my heart. But I have my little tote bag. So I've got the audio for this. Again, I'm about 3/4 of the way through. And I will have my phone connected to the audio. So without further ado, I'll take this with me because why not? I'm going to start our timer, and I will stop it once I get inside the office, just because I'll be done reading at that point. But once I get back into the car and I'm listening again, I'll start it back up. I want to be actually reading for the 24 hours, not just have a 24-hour timer and feel defeated when I only finish 1.5 books because, I sleep. I'm not going to mess up my sleep because of this. So let's go. Okay, so I am leaving the doctor now. Had to get some blood work done. But I read for, I believe it was an hour and some odd. An hour and 5 minutes. I don't know if you can see or not. But it was a 30-minute drive. I waited in my car for about 15 minutes before going in. And then read in the lobby while I was waiting because I have my headphones. So I'm unsure of where I am. I think when I was reading in the car, it was about here, but I want to say, yes, I only got a few more, but from where I started, not too bad. I mean, I think I was here. So, got a good chunk of it. I am going to go get me something to eat because I had to fast for this appointment. And we're going to continue reading. So, we'll get this timer started back up. Bye. I finished Crescent City, the House of Earth and Blood. Um, I don't know why I waited so long to read this. I've read literally everything else from Miss Sarah J. Maas. I've read the Akhtar. I read the Throne Glass series last year, and I've been putting this off because this first book was so daunting because it's so much world building that I was like, I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna like it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I did listen to the dramatic audio of it. What is this? Oh, cute. Okay. I listened to the dramatic audio on Hoopla, and so it was like 2 parts. And I started this on like the 20th. Finished it today. Today is the 2nd. I really enjoyed this. I'm really looking forward to reading the next book. Couldn't tell you what the name of it is. Could I? Do I even? Oh, The House of Sky and Breath is next. So I'm going to see if they have the dramatic audio. But I'm going to wait until after this 24 hours to do that. So we have officially finished one book. I'm going to put it backwards. We have completed 5 hours of reading to finish off the last quarter of the book. So I think I'm going to jump straight into Give Me a Sign. I did get the audiobook on, I think, Libby. Pretty sure it was Libby. But I'm going to read with it, probably flip back and forth. I do need to get me some food, but I don't foresee this taking super long. The print is pretty big, and it's only like 300 pages. Like, I'm still in the 290s, and we only have this much left. Just over 300 pages. So I don't foresee this being too much. Is it 303 pages? So I don't foresee this taking more than a few hours. I am really interested. Again, this follows Lila, who is a hard of hearing person. Doesn't feel like she quite fits in the deaf community or the hearing community. So she's trying to find her place. So she becomes a counselor at a summer camp for the deaf and blind. Her plan is to brush up on her ASL. Once there, she also finds a community. There are cute British lifeguards who break hearts but not rules, a YouTuber who's just a bit desperate for clout, the campers Lila is responsible for and overwhelmed by, and there's Isaac, the dreamy deaf counselor who volunteers to help Lila with her signing. Romance was never on the agenda, and Lila is not positive Isaac likes her that way. But all signs seem to point to love, unless she's reading them wrong. One thing's for sure, Lila wanted change, and things here are certainly different than what she's used to. In her sweet and swoony debut, Anna Sortino delivers a poignant coming-of-age story and a relevant exploration of deaf culture, its vastness, and its beautiful complexities. So, I didn't know this was her debut novel, but I am super excited. She is deaf. So I'm giving some information, some background information. She's a young adult author who writes stories about disabled characters living their lives and falling in love. She's deaf and passionate about diverse representation in media. Born and raised in the Chicagoland area, Anna has since lived in different cities from coast to coast, spending her free time exploring nature with her dog or reading on the couch with her cat. Give Me a Sign is her debut novel. This is really cute. I'm excited for this. So we are going to jump into this while I make me some lunch. So I finished this. This was precious. It had me crying. It had me laughing. It was absolutely precious. This is of course, a story about a girl who is hard of hearing, but doesn't feel like she belongs in the deaf community, but also feels like she doesn't belong in the hearing community. So she's trying to figure out who she is. This had me crying at some parts, especially with Isaac over here. It was precious. You know, she's dealing with a lot. They're all dealing with a lot. They experience a lot. They all grow in some way, shape, or form, which is fantastic that it's not just the main character that's growing, but it's even like the side character, the characters you wouldn't expect to grow are growing. She learns to stand up for herself and to advocate for herself, which is something she's never really thought about doing because she didn't want to be too much of a burden. But this was absolutely beautiful. I really, really, really enjoyed this, and I'm really glad that I read it. I'm going to reflect for a little bit before I give this a rating, because it's sitting at either a 4 or a 5, and I'm really leaning towards a 5, but I really want to digest the story because, again, I read it in one sitting. I mean, I got up to go to the pharmacy but had the audiobook playing, so like it was a true fully immersed, and it took me about 3.5 to 4 hours to complete. I can't remember what the timer was on, but we are currently at 9 hours and 23 minutes. I had a campfire ambiance playing because it was set at a summer camp just to set the ambiance. But I really enjoyed this. So that is book 2 done, and it's only 5:15 p.m. It's only 5:15, and I've already finished 2 books. Granted, I was 3/4 of the way through with Crescent City, but this is a chunky book, and I've only been reading for 9 hours, and I finished 2. I'm really proud of myself, honestly. I am not sure if I want to read Harry Potter next or Persuasion. I think I'm going to choose Persuasion just because it is shorter. I know it's going to take me a little bit longer to get through just because of the language changes and things like that. This is I don't know why I stopped. So again, this is kind of like a second chance romance, maybe like love requited. Requited, is that the word for it? They come back to each other, maybe. It's saying that they fell in love, but then they had to part ways. Which, I mean, this is set in the 1800s, I think, or 1700s. I believe this was in the 1700s that this is primarily set. Maybe some in the 1800s, but you know, you didn't fall in love and then lose touch and then come back. A lot of times, you're just married, not necessarily to each other, but like if you go apart, you might be ending up with somebody else. I don't know how to explain that correctly. My brain, no work. But I am going to be reading Persuasion by Jane Austen. I did, while I was reading Give Me a Sign, got a notification from Libby saying that my audio hold for Emily Wild's Encyclopedia of Fairies is now done. So I'm going to save this for the end because I have 21 days to read it. So I'm going to hold off until I get through. But it fits the vibe of the purple that apparently is going on with these 3. So this is on the table depending on how much time I have left after finishing Harry Potter. So we're not even halfway through with this. We're already halfway done with the books. I am excited. So we're going to get Persuasion started. I don't know if I'm going to take notes like I did for Sanditon, if you saw my previous video. I was in an annotating mood for that one. I'm not truly in an annotating mood for this. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So this has 250 pages exactly. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So we'll see how it goes. I will check in with y'all either when I get a stopping point, or when I'm done. I don't know if I'm going to come in at the 50% mark. I didn't with the give me a sign, because I didn't want to put it down at all. So we'll see. Persuasion is done. It was okay. I wasn't as intrigued until literally the last 3/4 of the story. Which this is already a really short story to begin with, but it just felt like it took too long to get into things. So we have Anne Elliot and we have Frederick Wentworth. They were engaged or betrothed, but because he was not wealthy enough, she was persuaded to not marry him. And so they go their separate ways. Now, 8 years later, they cross paths again. He is now rich. They are both still single. She is, I think they're both now like 27, or around. I know she's 27. I don't know how old he is, but they're around that age, and they are just constantly going back and forth. Not sure if they still have feelings for each other. Not sure if they're entwined with somebody else. There's some characters in here who are a little bit shady, who you want them to get what's coming to them, kind of thing, because of the way that they're acting. It was a good story. I'm happy that her. Almost forgot to stop that. I am happy that her stories are not like too formulaic. Yes, you know it's going to be like a happily ever after kind of situation, but it's the content within that is intriguing. And so I enjoyed it. It was not my favorite. It did not make me feel as much as some of the other books, like Pride and Prejudice, or like for love or whatever, or, anger, like Lady Susan. If you know, you know. Um, it is very cute. It is very sweet. I do love that they are mature characters. There's not just like, oh, I'm so young, I'm so like in love, let's marry. It's, hey, I'm old now, 27. But in this day and age, this the 1800s, early 1800s, late 1700s. 27's old, which makes me feel bad because I'm 29. But if Anne can find love at 27, so can I at 29. Um, Anywho, that is book 3 done. We have spent 14 hours reading today. This is all still on the second. It's right at 10:30. And I'm going to get ready for bed. I might start Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I was looking at the audiobook and it's saying that it's about 18 hours, which I listen to my audiobooks on 1.5 to 2 point speed. So it should take me about 9 hours, which will get us right at the 24-hour mark. I am driving tomorrow for like an hour and a half. So for a total of like 3.5 hours there and back. So there's that time to be reading. And then whilst I am hanging out with my grandma, taking care of her for a few hours, we'll just sit and read together, or she'll be taking her little nap. So I will focus on Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince tomorrow. I'm glad I have the audiobook. That is very helpful for me. But I am going to get in bed. I have my tea sitting over there steeping. My nighttime sleepy time tea. I slept in today. It's a really good thing that I didn't have the timer going, because I slept for like 12 solid hours. It was fantastic. I loved every second of it. That melatonin hit. But we are on our way, about to leave the house to go to my grandmother's house. So I'm going to put on the audio for Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I read the first chapter last night before feeling too drowsy to continue. So I am going to hook up my phone. We'll get the timer started, and then we'll get on the road. I hate this book. I hate it. Ugh, the quote on the back makes me hate it even more. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay, so I still have 19 minutes left of this 24-hour thing. I'm done. There's nothing I can finish within 19 minutes or get into within 19 minutes. The quote on the back: I trust Severus Snape completely. God. Like, I've seen the movie so many times. I've seen the movie so many times. I knew what was going to happen in this book. I was not prepared for the heartbreak that I felt. Because, I mean, like, obviously the movie leaves stuff out and they kind of blend the books together into the different movies. But, like, this has my heart, like, truly broken. 5 stars. Honestly, this is the best one yet. I hate it, but it's the best one yet. But dang, I'm really tempted to just go ahead and pick up book 7, but I also don't want it to end. So that may have to be an August book. Because what the heck? It's rude. Okay. Done. Finished. Finished. Now let's discuss. Okay. So we started with the last fourth of the House of Earth and Blood, the Crescent City, book 1. I'm really glad that I started this series. I really enjoyed this. I'm realizing now this is much lighter than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a little bit heavier. The Harry Potter book is pretty heavy, comparative, like, size-wise. So we started off with The House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I think I gave this 4 stars. I don't have my journal near me at all. I want to say I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. Obviously, the world building, it takes a minute to get into, but now that that's over, I'm glad to get into book 2 and book 3. I need to go ahead and order book 3. Casual. But I really enjoyed this. Ugh, Bryson Hunt. Power couple, I guess. I don't know if I just jinxed myself for saying all these things, but who knows? Who cares? It's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm exhausted. I enjoyed this. I'm glad I started with this. I was able to finish something relatively quick, even though it took me 6 hours to get through a fourth of this book. It was still really good. And then next we had Give Me a Sign by Anna Sortino. It is a YA romance where we follow Lila and Isaac. Yes, Lila. So Lila is hard of hearing. She goes to be a junior counselor at this camp for children who have some form of either hearing, visual, or physical impairment. And she's trying to find out who she really is. She is hard of hearing, but she has some hearing. So she doesn't feel like she fully is part of the hearing world, but also not fully a part of the deaf world. So she is trying to find her true self, and she meets a lot of people on the way. This was so cute, so sweet. I was hooked. It took me, I think, 4 hours to finish. And I gave it 5 star because it was just such an emotional, like, I needed this. And I am going to check and see if I can have this in my classroom shelf because I think that my students would enjoy this book as well. So Give Me a Sign by Anna Sortino, 5 star. Then we have Persuasion by Jane Austen. I was worried that I wasn't going to get in this book, and I was pretty right. I found myself zoning out quite a bit with this, just for the fact that I was going from more modern text to older language, but we get to hear the drama that is this love story. It follows Anne and Anne Elliot and Frederick Wentworth. Yeah, Wentworth. Where they were betrothed or like engaged, but then she was persuaded to not be together. He wasn't good enough for her, that kind of stuff. And so they part ways. 8 years later, they reconnect. Their paths cross. We get some drama. We get some conniving. We get some trickery happening. It is very enjoyable. I gave this, I think, a 3.5 or a 3, just for the fact that I wasn't as into it as I had hoped. But I'm glad I read it because I think I only have like 2 more books left of Jane Austen's. And I read somewhere, I just happened to see the post today that I was talking about how every single one of Jane Austen's titles are kind of like the main issue or like the main thing that the characters are going through, like Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Persuasion. And someone's comment made me giggle. Like, I knew Emma was the problem. We all knew Emma was the problem. Which, I mean, if you think about it, Lady Susan, she was a problem. So maybe we're onto something here. But I enjoyed it. It just wasn't it for me, you know? And then, of course, we ended off today with reading and crying over Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I'm still emotional. Um, I appreciate the information that was put into this book that was left out of the movie because I felt like I learned so much more. The movie was a little bit too convenient at times, but the book, loved it. I hated it so much, but I loved it so much at the same time. So for that, it's getting a 5-star because it's making me feel all the feels. So I have 1 book left of the Harry Potter series, and I am done. And with that, I am done with this video. I have read for 23 hours and 41 minutes and some odd seconds, and I feel accomplished. I can mood read for the rest of July. It's July 3rd, or technically now it's, again, almost 1 o'clock. It's July 4th. This was my July TBR. I have 1 more book, but it's not released until July 8th. But, like, I've finished my July TBR. That's fantastic. So I'm going to pick up some mood reads for the rest of this month. I don't know. Maybe try some other challenges. If there's anything that you want to see me read, please let me know. Again, I've got the whole month. Yeah, that was a lot. I'm proud of myself. This took me 2 days to complete. But I got to see what I was able to read in a 24-hour period. So, like, within 24 hours, how much can you read? I can read 4 books, or I guess 3.5 books. I feel like that quarter of a book was a full book, you know? So I hope that you enjoyed this, especially seeing me cry at the end. Who knows? I think I actually also cried and Give Me a Sign. So, you saw me get emotional. Um, I'm going to go to bed because I'm exhausted. So I hope that y'all have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful rest of your month. And I look forward to seeing y'all again very soon. Bye, guys.